we've talked about all the upsides. There are obviously lots of benefits to multifamily investing, but what about the downsides, right? So the number one downside is that it's an illiquid investment. If you own a single family home and you're renting it out, well, you have the ability to sell it, firstly, because other people will buy it rented, right, for cash flow. So the other investors will buy it from you. And worst case scenario, nobody wants to do that. You just wait until the tenant's lease is done, then you can sell it. So at the most, you'll end up waiting for a year. Well, with multifamily, once you invest in it, if you're a passive investor, and even if you're an active investor, even if you're in charge of the multifamily, it's typically a long ride. It's 2 to 5 years. And active or passive, your money is invested and you're in for that term, and it could be longer than 5 years. So illiquidity is a challenge. The second one is lack of control, of these 200 investors that are with us. They're not making the decisions. My partner and I are making the decisions. And so those investors have to trust us to make the right decisions. Now, to me, this is definitely a downside, but it's also a positive. I have seen investors make extremely emotional decisions. I've also seen them make decisions without any research, without looking at the data, without digging deep into the core problem. And when people do that, they make bad decisions. Professional teams do this for a living. I talk to property managers every day, every working day of the year. And because I'm doing that, because I'm pushing the same metrics on every property manager, regardless of where the property is, I can understand what a property is doing much better than most other people can. So it's definitely a con, but in some ways also a pro. The third one, for those of you that have built up equity, 1031 equity, folks that have built up equity in, let's say, your single family, maybe you have a quadplex in San Francisco and it's got $1 million in equity. Well, you don't want to pay taxes on that $1 million. Well, normally when you invest into a multifamily syndication, because you're buying a slice of the property, not the entire property, your 1031 benefits are not available to you. Now, there are exceptions to that. My company, for example, if you have more than $500,000 in equity, we have a product that allows you to own a multifamily on your own, but we make that process turnkey. So we go through the entire process with you. We show you 10 or 20 properties. We show you different areas. We show you all of the reports about those areas, and then we make the offer on your behalf. We do all of the steps. We find lenders, we find property managers, but that's really for those people that are at $500,000 or above. So if you're below $500,000, you'll probably end up paying taxes if you're looking to invest in fractional multifamily projects.